All right, let's get real for a minute. Ever look back on your life and think, I really wish someone had told me that sooner? Well, buckle up, because today I'm about to share some life lessons that people tend to learn way too late. And trust me, some of these will make you rethink everything. And hey, before you say, nah, I've got life all figured out, guess what? You don't, and that's totally okay. I didn't either. So let's dive into some hard truths, a few laughs, and the stuff that no one tells you but really should have. Your job doesn't define you. Let me start with something that might ruffle a few feathers. Your job doesn't define who you are. Yep, I said it. I know society loves to tell us that your worth is tied to your job title. Oh, you're a lawyer, you must be successful. Or you're a barista. Cute side gig. But let's get something straight. If your whole identity is tied up in your job, you're setting yourself up for disappointment. Jobs come and go. Some are amazing, others will drain the life out of you, but none of them define who you are as a person. There was a time I was guilty of this. I had a high-pressure job with a great title, good pay, and guess what? I was miserable. But I clung to it because I thought, this is who I am. This is what people will respect me for. Spoiler alert. Nobody cares about your title when you're stressed, skipping lunch to meet deadlines, and hating your life. Now I'm doing something completely different. And here's the kicker. I'm way happier. Even though my current job wouldn't impress anyone at a dinner party, I honestly don't care anymore. That's the freedom I want you to experience. So, what do I do for a living? I'm a professional badass who values peace of mind. How about you? Honestly, that's how we should introduce ourselves. We shouldn't have to list a job title to prove our worth. You're more than the number on your paycheck or the fancy name on your business card. You're worth the way you treat people, the passions you pursue, and how you live your life. Let me take this further. Obsessing over your job is a distraction. It's an easy way to avoid the things that really matter. When you're obsessed with climbing the career ladder, you forget to ask yourself, am I actually happy, or am I just chasing status? Here's the thing, your job can be part of you, but it's not all of you. You are a whole person with dreams, relationships, and a life outside of work. I had a wake-up call one day when I looked in the mirror and asked myself, if I wasn't doing this job, would I still like who I am? And the answer was no. That was when I knew I had to make a change. So if your job isn't bringing you joy or you're feeling like you're only valuable because of your title, here's your reminder. You're not your job. You are so much more. The sooner you realize that, the sooner you can start building a life that feels good, not just one that looks good on paper. So next time someone asks, what do you do? Just hit them with, I live life, baby, because that's the truth. Being nice won't save you. Let's talk real for a second. Being nice won't save you. Yep, I said it. Society tells us, be kind and good things will come to you. But spoiler alert, being nice isn't a magic formula for success or happiness, and it's definitely not going to stop people from taking advantage of you. Being nice doesn't always earn you respect. In fact, it can sometimes be a fast track to getting used and ignored. Back in the day, I was the nicest person in the room, always saying yes, never rocking the boat. And guess what? I ended up getting steamrolled. People knew I wouldn't push back, so they piled extra work on me, interrupted me in meetings, and took advantage of my kindness. Did I get rewarded for being the nice one? Nope, I just became more overwhelmed and angry. Here's a truth bomb for you. Nice people often finish last because they don't set boundaries. I didn't want to upset anyone, and in return, I got no respect. Sound familiar? I tried to be the nice one, saving the world with my kindness, but all I ended up with was everyone's dirty laundry and zero thank yous. It's like you become the designated problem solver, but no one's solving your problems. Turns out, being nice doesn't make you a hero. It just makes you available for everyone else's convenience. And trust me, that cape gets heavy after a while. Now, don't get me wrong. Kindness is important. But here's the controversial part. Too much niceness is actually a form of self-sabotage. When you're constantly bending over backward for others, you teach them that your needs don't matter. And guess what? They'll start to believe it. Saying no doesn't make you a bad person, and setting boundaries doesn't make you selfish. It makes you smart. Because when you keep saying yes to everyone else, you're saying no to yourself. Here's the deeper lesson I've learned. Being nice is not the same as being authentic. For a long time, I thought I had to always say yes to be liked, but in trying to please everyone, I was betraying myself. And trust me, that's a dangerous road. Being nice doesn't mean letting others disrespect you. True kindness starts with being kind to yourself. That means setting boundaries, saying no when you need to, and standing up for what you believe in, even if it ruffles a few feathers. I'll never forget the time I finally stood up for myself at work. I had this colleague who always dumped her tasks on me, knowing I wouldn't push back. One day, I politely said, "Sorry, I'm swamped with my own work today. You'll have to figure it out." I was shaking, thinking the world would end. But guess what? The world didn't end. In fact, she stopped asking me to do her work. That moment taught me that you can be firm without being mean and still keep your dignity intact. So here's the thing. You don't have to stop being a nice person, but you've got to pair that niceness with a backbone. Be nice, but not at the expense of your sanity. No one's handing out awards for being the nicest doormat. Kindness is powerful, but it's even more powerful when it comes with self-respect. Being nice won't save you, but being nice with boundaries will. So, next time you're about to say yes just to be liked, ask yourself, am I being kind, or am I just avoiding confrontation? The answer might surprise you. And remember, being nice doesn't mean being a pushover. It just means you know when to help and when to hand people their own problems. Trust me, they'll be fine. Love isn't enough. Let's cut the crap for a minute. Let's get real for a second. We've all grown up believing the fairy tale that love is all you need. Thanks, Hollywood. Thanks, Disney. How many times have we been told that sweet little lie? Well, turns out, love on its own isn't enough. Yep, I said it. And I know some people are probably about to get upset with me for this. But hear me out. We've been fed the idea that if you just love someone enough, everything will magically work out. Like your problems disappear and your differences just fade away. But the truth is, love doesn't pay the bills. It doesn't fix communication issues, and it sure won't fix a toxic relationship. Let me be real with you for a minute. I've been there, stuck in a relationship where we loved each other, no doubt. We had the chemistry, the passion, the butterflies, but we couldn't communicate for the life of us. Every argument was a disaster, and we never worked through anything. I kept telling myself, but we love each other, so it'll get better. Spoiler alert. It didn't. It took me a long time to realize that love isn't some magical glue that holds everything together. Without respect, trust, and real communication, love is like duct tape on a sinking ship. Sure, it might hold for a while, but eventually, it's going down. What love can't fix. Let's break it down. Here are the things love can't fix. Different life goals. Bad communication. That one person who never does the dishes. Yeah, love doesn't stop you from wanting to strangle someone when they leave dirty dishes in the sink for the millionth time. But wait, didn't we think love could conquer all? Newsflash, it can't. And that's okay. Love is important. But if you're relying on love alone to make a relationship work, you're in for a rude awakening. Love doesn't always mean you should stay now. Let me get even more real. Sometimes, you can love someone deeply and still need to walk away. Love isn't enough to erase incompatible goals or fundamental differences. You can love someone and still be miserable with them. I know that's not the fairy tale ending we all want, but this is real life, not a rom-com. People stay in toxic, unhappy relationships because they think, we love each other, so it'll work out eventually. No, it won't. If you're constantly fighting, if you don't trust each other, or if your values don't align, love isn't going to fix that. It's like trying to cure a broken bone with a Band-Aid. I remember after that breakup, I was devastated. I kept thinking, but we loved each other, so why couldn't we make it work? And then it hit me. Love isn't the problem. It's that we didn't have the tools or the compatibility to make it last. We didn't communicate, we didn't grow together, and love wasn't enough to fix those deeper issues. The deeper truth. Here's the deeper truth. Love is a foundation, but it's not the whole building. You need trust, respect, communication, compromise, and yeah, even some space. Love is powerful, but it's just one part of the equation. Relationships are work. They require effort. And sometimes, despite all the love in the world, they still don't work out. I know that sounds harsh, but it's also freeing. Love can exist even when you know you need to let someone go. You can love someone and still realize that they're not the right person for you. Love doesn't mean staying in a relationship that's draining you or holding you back. And that doesn't make the love any less real. So yeah, love is great, but it's not the fairy tale cure for all your problems. Next time someone asks you how you're going to fix things with love, remember, love isn't a mechanic. It's more like a spark. You need other things to keep the fire burning. You need fuel, air, and some occasional very necessary relationship therapy. Sometimes, you just need to walk away before you burn the whole house down. Love is a choice. At the end of the day, love is a choice. It's about choosing each other every day, even when things get tough. But it's also about choosing what's best for yourself. Don't ever stay in a relationship out of fear that the love will fade if you leave. Love doesn't die because a relationship ends. Love is energy. It changes, it evolves, and sometimes it's better expressed from afar. So if you're out there wondering why love isn't enough, just know you're not alone. Love isn't supposed to do all the heavy lifting. It's just one part of a much bigger picture. And sometimes, love's biggest lesson is knowing when to let go. All right, that's enough love talk for today. Go out there and love smart, not just hard. Time doesn't care about your excuses. Let me hit you with something tough but necessary. Time doesn't care about your excuses. Seriously, time is the ultimate savage. It just keeps ticking away. No matter how many reasons you have for why you haven't done what you said you would. Whether you're procrastinating, scared, or just plain lazy, time doesn't care. It's like, not my problem. Here's the truth. We all think we have more time than we do. We tell ourselves, I'll do it tomorrow, or I'm too busy right now, or my personal favorite, I'm waiting for the right time. Newsflash, the right time never shows up with a red carpet. While you're waiting, time's out there like, better keep up, buddy, because I'm not slowing down for you. I used to be the king of excuses. There was this project I wanted to start, something I was truly passionate about. But guess what? Every day I came up with an excuse. I'm too tired from work. I'll start next week. I need to do more research. You name it. I said it. Weeks turned into months. And guess how much progress I made? None. Zero. I wasted so much time waiting for things to be perfect, and time didn't wait for me. Then one day, I had this wake-up call. I wasn't getting that time back. All the excuses I made didn't matter because time just kept moving. And let me tell you, it felt like I'd been slapped in the face by my own laziness. Ever feel like you're in a constant race against time? Always behind, but somehow you're still making excuses while the clock laps you. It's ridiculous. Time's out there winning the marathon while you're still trying to tie your shoes. The truth is, time isn't some magical thing that waits for you to be ready. It's moving, whether you're hustling or binge-watching Netflix. And the most brutal part, time doesn't care. It's like, don't ask, don't care. Keep up. Now, here's the controversial part. We're not as busy as we pretend to be. Oof, yeah, I said it. Most of us aren't really busy. We're distracted. We're scrolling through social media, binge watching shows, or just mentally checked out. We say we're too busy to chase our dreams, but in reality, we're just making excuses. And don't even get me started on the "I don't have time" excuse. Listen, Bianca has the same 24 hours in a day as you do. I know, she's got a whole team. But the point is we all get the same amount of time each day. It's about how we choose to spend it. Time isn't the problem. You are. I realized this one day. I was always too busy to do the things that actually mattered. Spending time with family, working on my passion projects, or just taking care of myself. I had all these excuses lined up, but the truth was I wasn't managing my time well. And guess who didn't care about my excuses? Time. I looked up one day and years had passed. No joke. And I had nothing to show for it. Let me tell you, there's nothing more humbling than realizing you've wasted years making excuses. But hey, better to learn it now than never, right? Here's the deeper lesson. Time is the most precious thing we have, and we waste so much of it waiting for the right moment, making excuses, or being too scared to take action. Time doesn't care about your fears, your reasons, or your procrastination. It just keeps moving, whether you're ready or not. And here's the kicker, you can't get it back. Once time is gone, it's gone for good. That's why it's so important to stop waiting. Stop making excuses. Just start. Messy, scared, not ready. Because guess what? You'll never be fully ready. And time doesn't care. It's just ticking away. So stop wasting time. If you have a dream, chase it. If there's something you've been putting off, do it now. Because guess what? Time's not stopping for you, and there's no pause button on life. Trust me, if you don't make time for what matters, time will make the decision for you. And hey, let's be real. Time isn't your enemy, but it's definitely not your friend if you keep making excuses. So stop waiting for the perfect moment. Just go for it. You'll be surprised by what you can accomplish when you stop letting time slip through your fingers. At the end of the day, time is the one thing we can't control. It moves forward with or without us. But here's the good news. You can control what you do with it. You can decide right now to stop letting excuses steal your time. Because life is short and the clock is ticking. So if you're sitting there waiting for the right time to make a change or start that project, this is your sign. Time isn't waiting for you, so stop waiting for it. Get out there and make the most of every second. Trust me, you'll never regret it. And remember, time doesn't care about your excuses, so stop making them. Just do it. Your health is everything. Let's get real for a moment. Your health is everything. Yet many of us treat our bodies as if they're disposable, thinking we can just press reset whenever we feel like it. Well, here's the harsh truth. That's not how it works. You can't trade in your body for a new one once it starts to break down. Once things start falling apart, they tend to stay that way unless you begin paying attention now. I get it. We've all been there. Burning the candle at both ends, eating junk because we're too busy, convincing ourselves that we'll fix it later. But let me tell you something. Later doesn't come until your body hits you with a wake-up call. I used to be that person too. The one who said, I'll focus on my health after this deadline, or I'll start working out next month. I thought I was invincible, that I could keep running on stress, caffeine, and processed food forever. Guess what happened? My body shut down. One day, I was so drained I couldn't even get out of bed. My energy was gone, stress levels through the roof, and I felt like absolute garbage. It was like my body said, oh, you want to ignore me? Here's a taste of what that feels like. So there I was, realizing I had turned into a human potato. I decided to get serious. Let me tell you, the first workout after years of neglect was like trying to lift a car with spaghetti arms. I thought I was going to pass out just walking up the stairs. But here's the kicker. I'd been telling myself I was too busy to work out, too stressed to eat healthy. Turns out, I wasn't too busy. I was just making excuses because I didn't want to face the truth. The irony: the worse my health got, the less I could get done. So, in trying to save time by skipping workouts and eating junk, I was literally losing time because I felt like garbage. Your health should be your top priority. Here's the controversial truth: your health should be your #1 priority. Not your job, not your deadlines, and not even your relationships. If you're not healthy, you can't be there for anyone or anything else. Yet we live in a society that glorifies burnout. You know, those Instagram posts like "hustle hard, sleep later," or "teen no days off." Let me tell you, that's nonsense. If you collapse from being overworked and unhealthy, guess what happens? Nothing. You don't get a magical reward for running yourself into the ground. In fact, you might just end up with a hospital bill. Let's face it, if you're dead tired all the time, you're not being productive. You're just going through the motions like a zombie. And let's be honest, zombies don't crush their to-do lists. After I hit my health rock bottom, I decided to make a change. I started eating better, working out. Nothing crazy, just small steps. Slowly but surely, I started feeling alive again. I was actually awake, focused, and more productive than I'd been in years. I realized that when you invest in your health, it pays off in every other area of your life. I wasn't just doing it for myself. I was doing it to be better in every role I play. As a friend, a partner, at work. Trust me, if I can do it, anyone can. I was the king of bad habits. Now, I actually enjoy taking care of myself. It's not because I'm some health nut. It's because I've realized how much better life is when I'm not running on fumes. The deeper truth about health. Here's the deeper truth. You only get one body. If you don't take care of it now, you're setting yourself up for pain later. I'm talking about burnout, stress-related illnesses, even chronic diseases. And the worst part, most of us don't pay attention until something goes seriously wrong. It's easy to ignore your health when you're young or when things seem fine. But I'm here to tell you, your health is the foundation of everything. Without it, nothing else matters. You can't hustle if you're too sick or tired to get out of bed. You can't be there for your loved ones if you're constantly run down. And you can't enjoy life if you're always battling stress or exhaustion. So what's the takeaway? Don't wait for a health scare to start caring about your body. You don't need to become a fitness fanatic or eat kale with every meal. Just start paying attention. Take care of yourself. Move your body. Eat a vegetable every now and then. Your future self will thank you. Balance is key. I'm not saying you have to quit all the fun stuff. I'm still going to have my pizza nights and lazy Sundays. It's all about balance. When your health is in check, everything gets better. Your mood, your productivity, your relationships. And guess what? You'll actually have the energy to enjoy life instead of just dragging yourself through it. At the end of the day, your health is the most important asset you have. It's the foundation for everything else in your life. If you're constantly tired, stressed, or unhealthy, you're not living, you're just surviving. And life's too short to settle for just surviving. So, take care of your body. It's not about looking a certain way or hitting the gym 7 days a week. It's about respecting the fact that this is the only body you've got. And if you want to live a full, happy, and productive life, your health has to come first. That's it for today's health PSA. Now, go drink some water, take a walk, and maybe lay off the energy drinks. Trust me, your future self will thank you. The biggest regrets are from what you didn't do. Let's get one thing clear. The biggest regrets in life aren't from the mistakes you make. They come from the things you didn't do. Yeah, I said it. And I'm not just talking about the big stuff, like I should have climbed Mount Everest, or I should have asked that person out. I'm talking about all the little decisions we avoid because we're too scared, too lazy, or waiting for the perfect moment. Spoiler alert, there's no perfect time. You know that feeling when you see someone else living the life you dream about, and you think, why didn't I do that? Well, that twinge in your chest, that's regret. And it hurts a lot more than failing at something. Trust me, I've been there. I remember an opportunity that came my way. It was risky, sure, but it was a chance to do something I was passionate about. But instead of grabbing it, I hesitated. I spent weeks coming up with reasons why it wasn't the right time or that I wasn't ready. And before I knew it, the opportunity was gone. Let me tell you, the regret from that moment hit harder than any failure ever could. Why? Because I wasn't upset about trying and failing. I was upset because I didn't even give myself the chance to fail. Here's the funny part. We don't regret the things we try and fail at nearly as much as we regret the things we talked ourselves out of. Ever noticed that? No one lies awake at night thinking, I really regret going on that adventure, or I wish I hadn't put myself out there. It's always, why didn't I take that trip? Or why didn't I say yes to that opportunity? It's the things we didn't do that haunt us. And let's be real, we all have a list of I should-haves we carry around like emotional baggage. But here's the good news. You don't have to keep adding to that list. Here's where it gets interesting. Playing it safe. It's overrated. Yeah, I said it. I know, we're all taught to have a plan, to be cautious, to think things through. But here's the thing. If you live your life making only safe choices, you're going to end up in a pretty boring place. Safe doesn't lead to anything exciting. Safe doesn't give you memories, stories, or fulfillment. People think the worst thing that can happen is failure. Wrong. The worst thing is reaching the end of your life and realizing you never even tried. Here's the kicker. Playing it safe is the shortcut to regret. People aren't afraid of failing. They're afraid of what others will think of their failure. So, they stay safe. But the people out there doing incredible things. They're taking risks, making mistakes, and collecting stories, not regrets. Let me tell you, the moments I regret the most in life are the ones where I didn't take the leap. There was that time I didn't move to a new city because I was scared of leaving my comfort zone. Or the time I didn't go after a passion project because it felt too risky. Every time I played it safe, I lost out on opportunities to grow, experience something new, and truly live. But here's the thing. I've learned from those regrets. Now, I'd rather try and fail than wonder, what if? For the rest of my life. And that shift in mindset, it's freeing. It's like giving yourself permission to be bold, messy, and live without regrets. Here's the truth. The regrets that stick with you aren't about things you did. They're about the things you didn't do. The conversations you didn't have, the dreams you didn't chase, the chances you didn't take. And guess what? Life's too short to keep holding back. At the end of the day, we don't regret the failures as much as we regret the inactions. We regret not taking the risk to follow our passion. We regret not telling someone how we really feel. We regret not seeing the world when we had the chance. So here's my advice. Don't wait until it's too late. Don't let fear, judgment, or uncertainty hold you back from living the life you really want. Yeah, failure stings, but regret, that sticks with you. Here's the plan. Stop hesitating. Stop overthinking. Just go for it. Whether it's a big dream, a small adventure, or even a conversation you've been putting off, just do it. You don't want to look back in 10, 20, or 50 years and think, why didn't I? Trust me, it's better to have stories about things that didn't work out than regrets about things you never even tried. And hey, even if you fail, you're going to have a killer story to tell, way better than, I didn't do anything because I was scared. So, get out there and make some bold, brave choices. The world's waiting for you. Life's a collection of moments. Some will be messy. Some will be beautiful. Some will be chaotic. But you know what? The only moments you'll regret are the ones you never let yourself have. So take the leap, make the move. Say the thing, do the thing. Because in the end, the biggest regrets aren't from what you tried and failed. They're from what you didn't do at all. That's my wisdom for the day. Now go out there and do something that future you will thank you for. No more what ifs, no more hesitation, just action. Trust me, you'll be glad you did. And if you like this video and it made you think or laugh, don't forget to hit that like button. Share it with someone who needs a little push, and subscribe if you haven't already. We've got plenty more life lessons and laughs coming your way. All right, that's all for now. Go out there and make some magic happen. Your best life is waiting for you. No more excuses, no more delays. Go live it.